Good afternoon. It is a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. Here we are live at the Ron Frank's Business and Leadership Podcast. It is so good to have you. We've been out for a couple of weeks, but it is good. We are back now. Hey, couple things right off the bat. First of all, the Messenger Studios, the best place in the entire county to get all of your information. Do not miss a single episode. They just rocked an episode before this. Make sure that you go online, figure that out, and grab the paper. Hey, also, Meade County Christian School, the best place for Christian education, Journey Church, and of course, the one and only Dunkin' Donuts. It is good out in Corden. But today, I've got one of the best guests we've had on the show thus far. I've got Andy Williams, who is the VP, the Vice President and Loan Officer at the Sicilian Bank, with over 25 years of experience.
Yeah, I started when I was 10. I was 10 years old.
You know, I'll tell you what, I know that we have a policy at Dunkin' that we're not allowed to pick up 10-year-olds, but you know, those were different times, though.
It was.
Those were different times. So all these years later, 25 years, is it? I know that there's a moment, I think we were just kind of talking about this before the podcast, like there are people in our lives that we have known for so long, and now they're like grown adults, and they're like coming up, and I don't know. It's just that's always just been. I've never said like terms like 20 years ago. Like I've never said 20 years ago, because like, but I've been in full-time ministry with Tristan for coming on 18. We've been married for 18. So
you're getting there.
We're getting there, and that's weird. That's really but everybody always said like, don't blink, because your kids are going to grow up. And I was just like, I got a 2.5-year-old. We're going to have another kid someday. And then boom, I've got a 10 and a 7-year-old. And still though, like Jensen, that ever since we've been here in Kentucky, like that flew by.
Yeah.
That was crazy. So 25 years in the banking, financial, not only are you like working it, but you're advising, you're counseling. Wow. Okay. So listen, so first question is this, and I think it's great that your area of expertise, considering everything that's happening in America right now. So, you know, you've got like Trump with the tariffs, you've got all these taxes that are starting to get cut. Before we get into something like that, on like how that like relates to the banking world, how does somebody get into the banking world? Like, what was it about banking that you just said, hey, listen, this is something I want to pursue?
Yeah. Well, I went into banking as a teller, and I was working there while I was in college.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And actually, I was going to college to be a teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wow.
And I really liked it, though. I started realizing that, you know, I enjoyed being a teller. I liked the job. It was interesting. Business is just interesting to me.
Okay.
So I ended up changing my pathway in college.
Wow.
And went on to get a degree in finance. And I've just kind of worked my way up in banking, and I've been doing it a long time.
So if somebody was just like, hey, I like numbers, does that automatically translate to like they could do the banking, or is there still like a lot of separate things that go in outside of just numbers and things like that?
There's just so much in banking. There's, you know, actually I talked to this at the middle school here in Meade County to the kids about banking and the pathway when they're getting ready to pick what they're doing in high school. And we go through all the different careers there are in banking, and, you know, you got the lending, you got the tellers, you have processing, behind the scenes stuff. There's credit analysts that really crunch the numbers and dig into it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's marketing. That's always the fun one. You know?
Is it like, okay, so talk to me a little bit about like, first of all, tell me about the behind the scenes. Like, what is happening behind the scenes when it comes to banking?
As far as
whatever, if somebody was just like, hey, listen, I am not comfortable being a teller. I don't want to run it. I just want to I want to be in this world because I love it. But like, so like if somebody said like, I want to be behind the scenes, what is that?
Yeah. That would probably be either processing, customer support, something like that. You know, we do have some more introverted people.
Yeah, sure.
They don't want to be the front customer service type individuals. So they thrive in those back office type positions. There's just a lot of paperwork and all that.
Wow. Okay.
But I'd say, you know, for banking, it's good because you can try different areas. You don't like it, there's opportunities in other departments. It's nice because it's Monday through Friday.
That is cool. Yeah. Some benefits to that. What was it about? What kind of called you?
For me, I do like numbers. It's challenging.
Okay.
You know, obviously, for me to stick with it now for 25 years,
exactly.
It's not something you're going to get bored with. For me, you know, you're always being challenged because we are regulated. We're always getting, things changing. I like what I do as far as a loan officer. You know, I'll have somebody come to me. Maybe they have a business in mind or something they want to do. So at this point, we've got to put some puzzle pieces together and figure out how to make it work.
So a lot of problem solving. Okay, but that's because like the bank willingly wants to partner with people to. Okay, that's incredible. I want to circle back on that one because I think there's some great information there on the marketing and advertising side. Okay, so. How many locations does like the branch that you're Sicilian have?
19.
Wow, that's okay. That's a handful.
Yeah, we got quite a few.
Okay, is it all Kentucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Do you happen to know like where the first one was?
Yep. Cecilia, Kentucky.
That.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where the name comes from?
I was totally going to come in and help you there. But yep.
You know, and what's funny is just that, like, you know,
you think of Sicilian like it's an Italian.
Man.
Oh my gosh, our CEO is Sicilian.
Yeah, the Sicilian. But you know, it's not. It has to do with Cecilia, Kentucky.
Okay, all right. So
started and founded.
A moment of transparency. So anytime I write Sicilian in, as I was kind of like prepping for this and kind of like research and stuff like that. And maybe I'm still typing it in wrong, but I felt like autocorrect was just like really struggling.
Yeah.
Like it was always coming up right. And I'm just like, what am I missing? Like, what do I not know about this bank? I was just like, it's really there. Like I see it every day, right? And so I didn't know. That's so funny. Well, you know, people will always, if you're in the Dunkin' world, if you're in the world, you know that it came out of Boston, Massachusetts. But I don't know if everybody knows that or where Dunkin' came from. And even better that we dropped donuts years ago. Yeah, we haven't been Dunkin' Donuts for forever, but the brand,
I didn't even know that.
We're never going to get away from that, right? Just because like we're more of a coffee business now. I think donuts maybe is like 11%.
I mean, I still call it Dunkin' Donuts.
So do I. Yeah, and it's so much. I even have cards that say Dunkin' Donuts on it because the Dunkin' what? Well, Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, why didn't you say donuts? Well, we're not Dunkin'. And I'm like 30 minutes in a conversation, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so going back to the marketing and advertising, the reason I bring up Dunkin' is just because like, and the reason I brought out how many locations with 19, does every branch have its own marketing and advertising? Okay, so it's kind of like,
yeah, we have an amazing marketing department at the main office. It's a group of 4 awesome ladies.
I was going to say.
They're pretty cool. You've been to the Meade County Fair.
I have, yes.
We win that fair booth every year. It's amazing. Have you seen it?
I have seen that.
They dominate that. They're just awesome.
You're the one to beat?
Well, our marketing department.
Your marketing is?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do that, and they're...
Because we've been told the last couple of years that we have been falling into second and third place, but they wouldn't tell us as to who. And obviously, I guess the winner would have been obvious as to who that is. For some reason, I thought it was, I feel like I was coming into this to learn more about you, but I feel like I'm you know.
Well, you better be prepared because those girls are coming at it again.
Man, okay, all right. So I either got to like win outright or I got to sabotage.
Yeah.
It's going to be one or the other.
They're
okay.
good.
On the marketing and advertising, are there not necessarily their degrees, but like banking, they had a passion for it. If I know a lot of creative people who would love to be in marketing and advertising, but I think if I told them that you could go into like a career like banking, but be in the, I don't think that they probably would have thought that. So that's really cool. How does somebody fall into that? Is it actively recruiting somebody with an advertising degree?
Yeah, they do need to have some level of education around it, I believe, and then a lot of it's on the media side and the IT side.
Somebody like me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You can get all that right here?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There you go.
Shameless
hey, listen, little plug there. What social media platforms is Sicilian on?
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Okay, all right, very good. Yeah, I never got into the TikTok scene. I still don't have one to this day. I don't do the Snap, Facebook, which surprisingly, even though Facebook's been around a while, compared to all the other social media platforms, so it's not as popular with the younger generation, it is still far and away the most used platform still to this day. Yeah. So, but anyways, okay, very good. Okay, so let's dive into the banking world just a little bit here. Okay, so my question is, so we have a lot of people that watch that are like small business owners, or they're thinking about it, or they're thinking about going to careers, or maybe they've been a business owner for a while and they're needing to go to the next level. They're looking for counsel, looking for advice. So with President Trump's administration implementing, or at least going for this huge tax cuts, like on tipping and Social Security, people making $150K underneath, or, all of that good stuff. How does that translate? Like, what kind of memo does the banking world get as opposed to opportunity, as opposed to policies, or this is how? So I'm really kind of getting at the leadership, not necessarily like what it means to the bank, but how do you guys roll something out when the administration, whether it be the last 4 years or the next 4 years, how do you all adapt something and then roll it out?
Yeah. So, and it does affect us because we have the regulations that they're passing down, and again, that goes back to me saying that's what I do enjoy is that, or sometimes I want to pull my hair out, is that we are always on our toes and we have to be prepared for change. In our line of work, we have an amazing CEO and some senior management, and they monitor all of that and keep us well informed. I think ultimately what they do is just deliver effective communication across the board to all of us so that we're all on the same page. And we know what to do to prepare for any changes that might be coming.
So I would probably say the one thing that I would love for you to expand on, tell me how communication, like what platforms you all communicate on, how, because obviously, it starts at the top, comes down. How do you, staff meetings, individual meetings, just tell me like how communication within the walls work.
You nailed it. I mean, we do have a lot of meetings. We get messages sent out electronically, of course, and then the loan officers meet regularly. Individual banking centers meet regularly. Banking center managers have regular meetings. I mean, we do have a lot of communication between our groups that we just are responsible for passing around amongst us.
Not that I'm talking about Sicilian, but just kind of like leadership in general. How are effective meetings as opposed to just having meetings? So 100% guilty here, where there was a moment in my life where I was just like, oh, the more meetings I'm in, the more effective I must be, and which is not entirely true, just because there are some meetings that I will attend that I hate to say the word waste of time, right? But I was just listening to a bunch of podcasts, and Elon Musk, he's kind of like, right now he's got a lot of momentum just being so, and he just has this policy and that says like, hey, if you're in a meeting, even with him, and it doesn't pertain to you and you're not getting anything from it and you're not adding to it, you can just walk up and leave. Now that's obviously within SpaceX, which is a little bit different probably than Journey Church Duncan or, Sicilian, we're not launching rockets or anything like that. But how do you all keep meetings effective rather than just meeting for the sake of meeting?
That can be challenging.
That's a loaded question.
With an organization our size, and I'd say that we have come a long way with that.
Which any growing business is going to learn,
Right.
Okay, so maybe let me dial this in a little bit. Time restraints. Are you like, hey, I'll meet you, Tuesday at 3. We're gonna connect for half an hour, and then thank you very much, and then I'll follow up with you in a week or 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because really what I mean, we have teams.
Sure, absolutely.
Out of COVID, we came with teams, and that helped out, I think, a lot.
Is that what you all use? Okay, so not Zoom. Not Zoom. No. Is that old? Is Zoom out?
I don't know that we ever used Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. I know that Zoom.
Teams.
I know that during COVID, I know that the Zoom stock. People hadn't even heard of Zoom. And anyone who says that they have, they're messing with you. So I saw the Zoom stock just like skyrocket. Right, is what they call it in the market, where it's like it shoots to the moon. Right, we're shooting the moon. Zoom is everywhere, right? And it wasn't even actually till recently where people were like, "Oh, hey, we're going to do Google or Teams or Meets or something like that." You guys use that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just introduced as like as a leadership resource, or
yeah, we'll do that. We'll meet for certain groups or whatever. We do have a lot of roundtables.
Oh, that's interesting.
We'll divide up or whatever, and then we can hash out some things. So
that's cool.
For example, there might be a group of tellers from different banking centers that are maybe going to come together and brainstorm some ideas on how to handle things, because one of the big challenges that banks face now is fraud.
Okay.
And
all right.
scams.
Without going too far into that, because don't want to give ideas as to what are some of the challenges from, obviously, like you guys are banking, so a scam with money, is bad for
checks, just bad checks.
Okay.
We have our customers get scammed a lot too, though, and then we do want to get the information out.
Of course,
share a lot of posts on social media.
Okay,
see those, share them.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get the word out on what not to do. Don't click on those links when you get the weird text messages, stuff like that.
Okay.
So banks are losing millions in fraud.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we love to share that information. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. All right. So do you guys, what is like the protection? I wouldn't say the word software, but is there a certain like company that you all like utilize, or is it all in-house?
I mean, frontline defense.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we train everyone to look for situations when a customer's in front of us and people get frustrated with us because we may ask a lot of questions, but really sometimes
Gotcha. Yeah.
Sometimes our customer doesn't realize they're being scammed, and so we have those questions so we can get to the bottom of that or whatever. So
wow. Okay. One thing you said that I think is really applicable to leadership and business is you mentioned the word training. Mm-hmm. So if a person is starting day one, what's the timeline before they are in that position to be operating without any help?
Yeah. I'm wanting to say now it's probably a month or so before they're released.
Okay. And there's a person, is it one person assigned to training them? Is it a collective?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a group of people. We have a training department.
Do you really?
They're really awesome. They'll work with the employee to kind of teach them our system and everything, go over all the regulations and rules and everything that we have. And then they'll go to their banking center department where they're going to be, and they'll also get additional training there.
Okay.
And then
wow.
Free, yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you say that the training program is pretty on point?
Oh yeah.
Like it's been proven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've worked at multiple financial institutions, having be a transplant here.
Sure.
Grow up in the industry, and we have a really, really good.
What do you think makes it? What do you think makes it effective?
That we have some good leadership. I mean,
that's huge.
Yeah, they're invested in it. They want to make sure that we're investing in our employees. We want them to feel that they're invested in and that they're going to stick around. And so we invest in them. They're going to invest in us, type of thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. So a normal family, right, or whatever that means, right? Mm-hmm. Just an average person, right? 9 to 5, medium household income. Here's that these no taxes are coming, no taxes on tips, under 150,000. Is there any opportunity for them that would benefit them by partnering with a local bank? Is there anything where it's just like, oh, hey, we've never had this before, and if you've never gone over to a local bank, like this is something like, should they start putting money into a certain kind of thing, or because of all the new things coming down? Is there anything just off the top of your head that?
So are you saying because they're going to have more income, maybe more income at this? If this
that could be a benefit, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes sense for them to, for sure, come talk to the local bank, preferably the Sicilian Bank.
Of course.
See what kind of products, services that we have. Absolutely.
Okay.
100% love.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Mortgage rates right now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's kind of like when a doctor comes into the room, they're not really going to tell you what they think is going to happen because honestly, we don't know on good authority. What trends are you all seeing right now? Like,
they're pretty much. I mean, they're still lower than they were.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
We don't know. We don't know.
Sure.
You know,
what is it right now? Is it like, are we in the sixes right now? It's like, in maybe like a 6.7 for 30, and maybe like a low 6 something for a fixed 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're about right. You looking to refinance or something?
Oh, yeah. Always. It's just crazy. It's just so like there's this. I wouldn't say it's a concept, and I certainly am not the first one, but a couple of years ago. So I have a mentor. who teaches me just like about financing and developing, and he's out in South Florida, retired. Okay. Right. So it was it was a good fit, and I just asked him. He goes, listen. He goes, and this is debatable, right? This is what he shared with me, and so I've just kind of been proving it. So somebody may be like, "Oh, Ryan, that's the worst advice I've ever heard," because advice can be bad, right? Yeah. Counsel, whatever. Wisdom, is a little bit different. So he says it's not in the ability to just simply make more; it's the power to purchase. He says, so if you're sitting here today and you're an American and you're making X amount of dollars and that only can buy a certain amount of things, he goes, then you're aware of the power of purchase that you possess, and you either need to make more, which he says it's always way more easier to make more than to try to save. See, so often people are just like, oh, I got to save this. Yeah, but if you're just trying to save this and it accumulates to maybe $30 to $100, I mean, how hard would it be to go out and make an extra 200 just by being smarter, right? And so he's just like, look at some of these other countries that are beautiful countries, and what the dollar, the currency is here, it translates to 11 there. He goes, so you haven't done anything different. Now you have more power to buy. And so I think it was just interesting, just like the ability to stretch the dollar is kind of what he's been talking about. It's just like its ability to so anyways, that just kind of made me think about that, especially with like everything happening. And so since you guys are working with money, and we've got Duncan and some of the stuff like that, like how do we make it all stretch? And I would always encourage people to never just take A or B in your options. Like there's always C. There's always another option, even if you have to go like a hybrid the two. So so anyways, with the rates coming down, is it there?
Not yet.
It's not there. I'm hoping for it. Yeah. I was just speaking that.
We all are.
I was speaking that to the air, hoping that it'll happen. Okay, a business person comes in, they want a small business loan, right?
Yeah.
Take me through the process of what is required, and then what has to be fleshed out for, not necessarily just for acceptance. Like I'm not just talking to like transaction to bank and be like, oh, hey, here's a check. But like, I know that banks generally want them to succeed because it's good for both sides.
Absolutely.
Right? So take me through, like, so if somebody's listening to this and they're just like, man, I really feel like I can do this. Walk me through the first day, everything that they need, and what we're looking for.
Of course, if it's a startup, we want to see a business plan.
Okay.
We're going to want to see some financials. And we'll get together and we'll kind of pick through it all, look at a personal financial statement, all that, and see what we can do. Sometimes we might come in with SBA, like we've talked about, especially for startups, and really kind of look at the person's experience, what they have, what they're going to bring to the table, and we want to get it through. I mean, we love that.
Right.
That is fulfilling for me, helping people buy their homes and do some of those, big life things. That's great. We love that.
Do y'all work with SBA? Sorry.
We don't. We're not right now. Yeah, we usually will send that off, but we're not specialized in SBA.
On the business plan, so what needs to be in the business plan? So is it just like the mission, the product, the demographic, the timeline, anything and everything, and then like expected for turnaround? If a small business person comes in, obviously we know that if like they're really starting up from ground zero, like they're not going to take a personal check salary for a little bit, right? Kind of a hot minute. Right. What do you all look for? What are some of the key things that you're like, oh, if you have that, that is helpful?
Yes. We're going to want some skin in it too. I mean, typically I think we might want some collateral on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Type of thing. But everything you just said, I mean, that's what we're looking at too. In the business plan.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. So remind me, okay. So there's the FICO score, which pretty much just says like, hey, you borrow debt really well, and then there's the credit score.
Yeah.
Right. A person comes in looking to start up a business. What is a credit score that is going to, be highly looked on,
So credit scores kill me sometimes because, the matrix behind you could have somebody that might have a 640 and it's just because they have modest credit,
Right.
Maybe they don't have a lot of debt or haven't used it a lot. And sometimes that can hurt you when you don't have anything on your credit. But ideally, we would like to see it above 660 or higher. We want to see some credit history on there typically so we can show, because what is that? That's a report card that's telling us
Okay.
how you did.
That's interesting. A report card. I like that.
Making those payments on time and all that. So, we'd like to see.
What would you say to somebody who's like, hey, it's not that I have debt. I don't have a really high credit score. How would you encourage them to get to a place in a 6-month window?
You mean to get their score?
Just,
up a little bit?
Yeah.
We'll do things. We'll have people borrow from themselves.
Borrow from themselves.
Yeah. This is a quick, I guess easy way, cheap way to start reporting to the credit bureau. You might put some money in a CD.
Okay.
Turn around and just borrow from yourself and start making payments, because sometimes people just don't need the money, but they want to get a score.
Borrow from. You know what? I have never thought about that. Do you see that often?
I do it a lot for the young kids too.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, like just a little $1,000 loan. They'll do $1,000 in a CD and start borrowing from. That's the kids that maybe don't have a cosigner.
Sure. Okay. So maybe for those kids that do have a cosigner, do you ever see parents taking a credit card out in the kid's name, but living there? Well, and I don't necessarily want to say that. Just like, is there any way that parents can help their kids get to a place by the time that they're, out of school or whatever, where they have a decent credit score?
Yeah, I'm doing that for Reese right now. I got a credit card. I've added her as an authorized user.
Yeah.
So she's 17, but it is reporting to her credit. That we have a liability out there under her.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's. Is there any downside to that, you think?
There could be if I was irresponsible. Yeah.
I've got a free credit card and it's not my name.
Let me tell you something. Reese got that credit card in the mail because when I added her last year, I guess, and they mailed her a card, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't want that. She saw that and her eyes lit up. She's like, what's this?
That is so funny. Okay, so Reese, Evan, Ethan, good old man Dan, right? How long y'all been married now?
We have been married. It'll be 16 years.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, 16.
And I just have to say this.
Okay.
You asked me a while ago, do I go by Andy or Andrea?
True.
And my name is Andrea, but I've always gone by Andy.
Yeah.
And he's Dan, and together we're Dandy. Yes. And that totally embarrasses my kid.
How have I feel like that is something that I should have put together, but Dandy.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to never forget that. That's amazing. Okay, so Reese is going into college. You got the boys that are getting in there. They're going through. How old is each one? One's turning 16 in June.
I have all teenagers, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good.
So I guess I'm guessing that the organization and the discipline being in the banking world, and then Dan coming from the military, I bet your kids are pretty in line for the most part.
Yeah, we've been blessed with some really good kids.
Okay. I hear the middle child is always. I'm married to one. I'm married to a middle child. So.
He's cool. He's the babysitter.
Yeah.
He's the best babysitter of all time.
He is good. He's very good.
Yeah. So no, they're all so different. Personalities.
Absolutely.
But Dan's a retired drill sergeant. So
that's crazy. I would, if I had not known that, I don't know if I would have known that, because anytime that you all will get on social media and screenshot your funny text messages and stuff like that, I see his profile picture for your guys' phones, and that's like,
right.
that's the furthest thing from a drill sergeant that I would probably, so.
Yeah, he's goofy.
Drill sergeants can be happy too.
Yeah.
Good personalities.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
He'll get the saw hand going sometimes,
Oh, I would love to see him in his element.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. As we were talking earlier, Midwest is, kind of born and raised, out of the St. Louis kind of area.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I played a lot of ball in St. Louis growing up.
Really?
Yeah. We got smoked bad in basketball. Like we would travel and no. Soccer? Absolutely.
Yeah.
No. Basketball. I know.
Or at least a St. Louis Cardinals.
My dad is.
Okay.
I grew up at KC, so it's Royals, but I don't have anything against the Cardinals either, because there is like that you almost like you have to pick one, kind of like Broncos and Chiefs or Chiefs and Raiders. Okay. But anyways, okay. All right. So as we're kind of as we're kind of wrapping up here a little bit, when a business person or when a person comes in to start a business and you've seen the ones that have been successful, right? What are some factors? What are some common factors you're seeing throughout business guys, women, anybody that comes in, they end up being successful, right? Just meaning that, it went well. What are some things that you've seen across the board where you're like, okay, that is going to serve you well, or I see that in him, I see that in her, bum. They all have that in common. Maybe that's something to bring out.
Yeah. Character-wise, is that what you're talking about?
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say every situation is just so different. But we're looking for somebody that's sharp.
Yeah.
They know what they're talking about.
Speaking of the business.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't have somebody that comes in and
Sure.
has no idea what they're wanting to do, but wants to start a restaurant.
It's easy to get inspired.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It truly is, but it doesn't make it a good thing all the time. Actually, if anything, it could deceive a person and kind of, because if you borrow, you got to give it back.
Yeah, and we have a team too that so for me, if I have a difficult request, I'm gonna pull in my boss Jeremy Stahl. He's sharp with all that. He can look through it and kind of
eyeball it a little bit.
Yeah.
If a person comes in, and I promise, I kind of feel like I'm teaching on Sunday mornings because I keep saying we're gonna wrap up, and then I keep going and I keep going and I keep going, right?
He does do that.
It's totally true. Like, hey, this is my last thought, and I know everybody by now is just kind of like, is it now? Is it really your last thought? Because 7 thoughts ago you said it was your last thought, and honestly, I'm starving. So let's go. What is some advice? What is some counsel? So 2 parts. Last question.
Okay.
What is your advice to somebody who maybe is not who's been inspired, but they're not ready? And I know you could say oh, well, look at your business plan, but what would you counsel them?
Yeah, they need to come in and talk to us.
They just need to come in and say hi.
They need to come in and sit down. There's no dumb question.
That's cool.
Because we'll work through it together. Our job is to try to figure out how we can make this deal work, and
yeah, generally.
Yeah, if we're going to be 100%, it may not be something they want to hear.
Sure.
But we're going to kind of try to guide whomever wants to talk to us about it. I mean, we all love to talk about it. We all love to talk banking. You're like, hey, Andy, you want to get together and talk banking? Of course I do.
Absolutely.
We all like to talk about it. So for sure, just if somebody's mulling that idea around and they kind of want to pop in, talk to us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just scroll in. Just say hi. Put something. Or okay.
People do that. They'll pop them out and say, hey, I want to talk to you about something real quick. All right, what you got? I'm thinking about doing this and this. Okay, well, here's what. Let's we'll get back together, schedule.
Okay, that's cool.
Whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah. And for somebody who's growing up, who maybe doesn't know that it is banking that is calling their name, but they love everything about it. What are a few things about banking that if a young person has a desire or passion, translates into the banking world?
Yeah, most entry level start as a teller, although we have some that love it and have been in it for a long time. And there's different levels of that position. Come in, see if you like it, and then you'll kind of get to see all the other aspects of banking and yeah, for sure.
Is there anything about banking that would that person is not right for it? Because I see that across the board in interviews with Duncan. I can tell you in the first 30 seconds if this is going to be a good fit.
Yeah, same. I think for us, you gotta have a good personality. You can teach the job. You can't really teach personality.
It's true though.
Yeah. We want people that. Obviously, you got to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
We're dealing with.
I tell you what, man.
It's our product. And then just have the drive and personality. I think ultimately is what we're looking for.
I bet the guidelines of working within the banking industry, there's no room for cushion when you're just dealing with money all the time.
Yeah. I mean, our tellers, they got a lot on their plate. They do, and some people don't want that pressure. It can be a lot on someone's plate because, again, the fraud. Sometimes we might have.
That would make me nervous too.
Yeah.
That would make me nervous. We had a fake bill come in the other day for Duncan. And I'll tell, and it wasn't, we're not in the banking. I mean, we're just, the total loss would have been maybe like $4 or $5 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I saw that. I saw one of our employees, and she was just like stressing to the hilt over that. I'm like, listen,
After that, every bill that comes in,
everyone's up. You got the whole like magic marker thing going on. So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Any last piece of counsel, advice for those that are interested in the banking world or maybe thinking about trying to start a business?
Yeah. Just come in and talk.
Just come in and say hi.
Even if they're interested in a job, drop in, talk to Mona in Brandenburg. She's awesome. She can give some advice too on the hiring side.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah,
it's been wonderful. It's been a blessing. Hey, we're going to be back as soon as possible. We've got some great guests on the ticket coming up. But remember, the Messenger Studio, thank you so much. Always be tuning in. And you've got Meade County Christian, Dunkin' Donuts, and Journey Church at the heart of Brandenburg. All right, have a great day. We'll see you soon.